Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Module 5. Isn't that crazy? We are already halfway done with the semester. I just I just cannot sometimes fathom that. That is just insane to me that we are racing through this so quickly. I wanna first off just kind of say I've got my camera turned off because I've got welcome to Southern Indiana. I've got like this massive allergy attack going on right now. Snotty and puffed up and stuffed up. And so I look quite the treat today. So anyway, I apologize. I don't have the camera on for you, but it is Southern Indiana. That's where we live and that's what we expect, right? So there you go. I wanted to congratulate you guys on the work that you have been doing. You have been doing a lot of really good work. I've seen a lot of really good things come along. I'm also still just overly impressed with the way you guys are keeping up with stuff. You guys are able to keep up with the assignments. You're not falling behind. You guys are really just on top of stuff, and I am just super impressed by that. So I do hope that you keep that up. Hope that you are able to maintain that pace throughout because you guys are doing some great work. And, again, because this is an online class and it's a shortened semester, an 8-week semester, it really is important to stay on top of stuff because you don't want to get to a point into a place where you're like racing, trying to do stuff just to stay at pace. And then because you're racing to get through things, you're not doing your best work. So I do believe that, the things that you guys are doing are great right now. Let's take a look at Module 5 and what we are doing this week. And this is all about responding to each other and revising your work. What we want to do is we want to take and get you some feedback on your drafts, your comparative analysis draft that you wrote last week. So you wrote a draft, a half draft, and some of you wrote more, and that's awesome. This week, what we're going to do is we're going to finalize that. But to get to the finalization, we're going to use some peer editing. Um, I love the idea of peer editing simply because it gives you a fresh set of eyes on your paper that you wouldn't have had otherwise. When you write a paper, you know what you meant to say, you know what you wanted to say, you know what the content is, you know what the information is. Um, and because of that, you have you fill in the blanks. As you read over your paper, if there's something missing, you already know it. And you just fill in those blanks as you go. So I think it's really important that you let someone else get their eyes on the paper because then they can help you see where those pieces are missing. Maybe it's you didn't explain something well enough, or maybe you just didn't realize you didn't put in the title of one of the works, maybe something simple like that. There's a lot of different things that it could be, but these allow you to get some feedback on your paper. I also really like peer feedback because these are people in the same situation as you. They know the assignment. They know what you're supposed to be doing. They know what it took to get to this point. They might even be using the same readings as you. And so they come at it with a different perspective. They come at it almost like you do, right? Except they don't have that benefit of that. I know what this paper is supposed to do because I wrote it. They know a lot of that content and style and what it's supposed to be and the expectations. And so peer editing really can be very beneficial. So that's what we're doing this module. That's what we're working on this time. One of the first activities that you're going to do is Tutor.com. This is a free tutoring service that you have access to. You get 25 hours a semester free, and you do not have to limit it just to English. You can use it for any of your classes, any assignment you have in any class. You can take it to Tutor.com and get help. Now, another cool thing about Tutor.com is it's 24/7. So let's say you're a night owl and you want to work on your paper at 11:30 at night. It's like 12:31 and you need some help. You can get that. You can log in. There's 24-hour access. This Tutor.com is a really good service. I'm not saying that because it's part of our class or anything, but I've used it and I really did appreciate the feedback that I got. So what you're going to do is there's a preparation for this. It walks you through how it works and what you're going to do. And then you're going to get on, you're going to share your paper with them, and you're going to get some feedback. Then what you're going to do is you are going to post the log of what you had, like what were the comments. And what'll happen is it'll generate like a text log of all the things that you guys said went over. Okay. And so you're going to turn that in, and then you're going to write a brief paragraph that summarizes your experience. What was it like working on tutor.com? So there are two parts to that. It is your reflection, and then it is the log, the activity log from your time on the website. Now, some people in the past have had trouble accessing that log, or that when they get done, they didn't get the log, or the log didn't come across as clean as they hoped to, or whatever. And that's fine. We'll work around that as needed. Okay. But you definitely need to be sure that you get that reflection piece in. Then you have a set of slides that walk you through the principles of peer review and about how to do it. Again, I think peer review is really beneficial because you guys are in the same boat and you know each other and you know what you're going through. So I really do think that it adds a lot. But this isn't something that we normally do, and it's something that if you've done it in the past, you may not have done very well if it wasn't explained to you. Like, oh, just read their paper, tell them what you think. We're looking for specific things they could do to improve the paper. Specific elements, looking for the introduction, looking at the thesis, looking at the style, reading over the content and saying, this makes sense, this is well organized, this is logical. We want to be very clear about our information. We also want to be very clear about what we're talking about. So it's not just enough to say, oh, I think that you did a really good job organizing this. What was good about the organization? Where was it particularly strong? I like how you use this point first, this one, and then this one. If you're saying like this was a really great example, pull that example and show us what you're talking about. The more specific you can be, the better. Because again, we're using that look back at the text to see where you got these ideas and these things from. From there, you are going to actually do the discussion board where you do the peer review. So what you'll do is you have already posted your half draft onto there. You at the end of module 4, you should have posted it on there. This is where you start going through and doing the commenting. And again, the more drafts you can read, the better, because again, more feedback from more people helps more people do better on their work, right? It just really helps people get a fresh perspective on their paper. As you are writing this, there are 5 questions here, and you need to pick 3 of these 5. A, B, C, D, E. I would suggest that you put A and then your comments, and B and your comments, and E and your comments. That just kind of makes sure that you know what you're responding to, and your audience, the reader, the original poster, knows what you're referring to. Okay. I would suggest that you do that because that will help you be a lot more organized and specific. As before, I would really suggest that it'd probably be better if you type this out on some sort of doc, Word doc, Google Doc, or something, and then copy paste it onto the discussion board. I think that would be better because then you have more tools for the editing and stuff. And you can also work on it over a longer period of time without worrying about losing your work, okay? I really want you to be very specific as you are making references. Like, I really love the word choice. Well, give me some examples of the word choice you thought was really good. Right? Be specific. As you are picking the papers to respond to and offer feedback on, I would really suggest that you look for papers that don't have many feedbacks on it already. The more we can read, the better. Spreading it out. Let's say that you were the first 2 people to post your papers on there, And then when people jump on, they read the first, they read the second, you know. So the guy who turned it in 12th or something doesn't get as much response. So when you're doing this, you know, obviously it says there to read more than one. You know, look at several of these. Pick the one that's best. Obviously, that's always better because you don't want to pick one and then you have to respond to it in a way that you don't really know how to respond to. You're just putting stuff down to say that you put something down, right? So I would definitely look for examples or submissions that really like you have a way to make some positive comments on. I also like to spread it out because again, the more people that can get feedback, the better. So look for the people that don't have as many comments. Look for people that could use that extra boost because again, we're looking to spread this out. Um, as a reminder, again, this is not a place to debate the topic. We're looking solely at what they wrote and how they wrote it. You can comment on like the way they do or don't validate, support, uh, back up their claims. That's fine, but you know it really isn't a place like I really don't think this is true because we're not trying to debate the topic here. We also want to make sure that we're keeping it we're not getting personal with this, meaning we're not like, man, that was really awful. That was a stupid thing to say, or that was that. No, let's keep our language neutral. Let's keep it objective, and let's keep it out of those personal attacks. Okay, and again, you're going to see that on that information on that slide deck. Then we go into the actual final draft of the paper, where you are going to take your work and you are going to correct your paper, finish your paper, complete your paper, and then submit it. Now, one thing I do always like to say here, just because somebody wrote it in your peer review doesn't mean you have to do it. It's not gospel truth. It's your paper and it's your grade, and you have to do the things that are best for you. But definitely look and see what they wrote and kind of think about why. You're like, I don't know if I would do that. Then think about why they wrote that. What made them suggest that? What did you do that maybe they saw it differently? Think of it in those terms, okay? Use that feedback, use those suggestions to make your paper better. But in the end, it is your paper, and you do have to do the things that are best for you. Um, Again, as a reminder of the requirements, and you saw this before in Module 4, the strong thesis statement. You have a body that really states clearly here's some significant differences and similarities, and this is why it matters and what those overlaps are. It's in APA or MLA style. You've done the citations, you've done the works cited or the reference page. You've really done all those things to make this a finished, polished, professional work. And then you'll turn in the final draft, and that is right here. Okay. I really believe that this is the hardest assignment you are going to do this semester because it's one that probably is not the most familiar to you. You've done these, but not quite like this. Okay. I think a lot of times we do, oh, these are how they're like, or these are how they're different, but we've never really explored that significance. And so I do believe that this will be a little bit more challenging for you. And that's fine. That's part of the growth process here, right? Also, too, this paper kind of stands out a little bit differently because depending on the original articles that you picked to do this with and your approach and what you're looking at and what are the things that you're using to compare, what metrics are you using to compare, this could be a little bit more difficult because you're like, oh, I didn't think of that, or these two don't really match up in these ways, or there's something that makes it a little bit more challenging for you. I get that. I really do. And I do know that this is probably the most challenging paper that you guys will do this semester. Okay. So anyway, as you are wrapping things up for module 5, I do believe that you guys are going to do some great work. I do know that you guys are going to produce some things that are really strong, really powerful, and are really going to set you up for your last major assignment. You're going to be able to rip right through this, okay? I do hope that you are reaching out. If you have questions, you have problems and concerns, you're reaching out saying, hey, Wells, I need help with this. don't suffer in silence. That is one of the bad things about a online only class. I don't see you. If I was face to face, I might be like, wow, you know, it kind of looks like you're struggling. Let's talk a little bit. You know, we don't get that on an online class. So you are going to need to reach out and make sure that I know that you are needing something so that I can provide that support for you. So continue to reach out as needed. Hey guys, good luck. I can't wait to see what you do. And I am sure that we are setting ourselves up for a great finish to the semester. Good luck, everyone.